What's up, everyone? We're Matt and Kara with Ozark Overland Adventures, and it's time for another Q&A video.
Yes, it is.
I did one 2 months ago, and asked in that one if everybody liked it, and everybody said yes, let's do more of these. So I'm doing them every other month. So it's been 2 months. That was in October.
That would be every other.
Now it's December, and I'll do another one in February. Every other. That's right.
2 months.
About a week ago, I submitted on all the socials, ask me your questions, and it got a lot. So we're going to try to zip through these and answer them as best we can.
Zip through them?
Yep. You ready?
Ready.
Ozark Overland Adventures is proudly supported by the More Expo, the Midwest's #1 adventure travel consumer expo. Artemis Overland Hardware. They have one of the largest selections of overlanding gear available. Big Iron Overland Rally, where Overland Expo meets Music Festival. Shop Overland Apparel, your source for Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise and more. Open Road 4-Wheel Drive, makers of affordable, high-quality winches and recovery gear. Outback RV of Texas, the best place for Overland adventure trailers. And Moon, makers of the Moonshade portable awning.
All right, this is a two-parter. Do I need to read who it's from?
Yeah.
Okay. This is my first time to do this. So, it's a two-parter. John Hannon, I hope I'm saying these people's names right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. Number 1, did you stick with the Fox shocks or switch back to the Bilsteins?
Someone hadn't been watching the channel in a while. No, the Fox shocks, hated them. You hated them.
They were super soft.
Yep, they did not do well paired with the rock crawler lift. Too soft of a shock, too soft of a spring, lots of body roll.
But it was a basic
Bad
Fox
combo.
shock. So
it's a 2.0, yeah. But I mean, it was comparable to the Bilstein. So Fox shocks, yes, switched to Fox, went back to the Bilstein, and now rocking Elka.
Yep.
And am in love with my Elka shocks. So Fox, then Bilstein. I say Bilstein, but it's Bilstein because it's German.
Like a beer?
Yeah. So Fox, then Bilstein, and then Elka.
I need you not to say that like that, please. And I have Elkas too, actually, in a box somewhere.
Box, that's right. And hopefully they're going on this week.
Hopefully.
Okay, place for Bilstein.
Never good. Number 2, in your promotion of the Ozarks and the OOAT, do you have any concerns about the increased use and the lack of trail etiquette amongst some of the users?
I wrestled with that quite a bit and talked to my friends about that quite a bit before releasing the OOAT.
We wrestle with that on the OAT, and we also wrestle with that as far as waypoints and everything that we give.
Yeah, through Patreon too.
Yeah.
And what we landed on is it's better to have more people out on the trails that know the right things to do. And if people are watching this channel, hopefully they're learning the right things to do. And so it's better to have more people out on the trail who will clean up their campsites, and who will take care of the trails, and who will wheel responsibly than to just have the normal people who don't do those things. So I'm not going to say there's a cause and effect, but I'm not seeing as many trash campsites as I used to. And I'm not taking credit for that, but hopefully there's something to. Well,
and I think it also helps for being able to provide that whole trail to people, so that way they're not blazing illegal trails.
Yeah, they know where to go.
They know exactly, because we did the legality work of it, and so they know it's an actual trail, and that's something that they can do.
Good question.
All right, so Get Over It Outdoors. I like that name. Says, hey Matt, I'm going to be re-gearing soon. We have a JLU-R on 37s and have now purchased an Overland trailer, an Escape Pod Topo 2. That sounds fun. Have you pulled the, okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you pulled the Conquer on a trip with the new 513s? How do you like the 513s pulling, or would you rather still have the 529s if they had been available again? There's many questions to this. So also, did you do Chromoly axles or still running stock? So have you pulled the Conquer on a trip with the new 513s?
No. No, I haven't pulled. I mean, I've only had them for I mean, right at 1,000 miles now, it's about time for me to, I've actually this week got to change my diff fluid for that initial break-in period. But this weekend, I'll be pulling the Conqueror up to the Ozarks. But you're running a JLU and not a JT. So the tow rating is radically different between a Wrangler and a Gladiator. I think I looked it up. The escape pod is like 2,000 pounds, which is perfect for a Wrangler. So Kara's running 38s with 4, 5, 6 gears, and it does really well. Still hits 8th gear. She gets decent gas mileage considering the fact she's running 38s. Towing.
Don't have a lead foot.
I would go 488s with that escape pod. I think 513s you're going to be too deep for when you're not towing. So I think 488s would be really good for you.
So you think the whole difference between the 513s and the 529s, you think the 529s was too much for you?
I have no regrets with the 513s. The 529s were a little deep. I do like a little bit lower RPM, when I'm cruising on the interstate. And I wanted 513s to begin with, but they weren't available when I did my initial regear. And so I'm glad I have 513s now.
Okay, and then the last question, was did you do chromoly axles or still running stock?
No, all stock on the axles. 100% stock. I do have Terraflex ball joints on the axles, but I am a firm believer in let the easiest thing to fix on the trail be your weakest link. And for me, that's the U-joints in the factory axles. And so I don't want to go to chromolys. I don't want to go to RCVs because I don't want to break a ring and pinion on the trail. I don't want to snap an axle shaft on the trail. And I really like the fact that I really like my simple little U-joints being my weak link because I can change those pretty quick on the trail.
As long as you have the right tools.
Right, which I do now. The fire's getting warm on my leg.
No, it's perfect.
This is our camp. This is the campfire part of the top.
Urban campfires.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be a part.
You did.
And I don't want to be cold. Okay, so Christina White, she said, I camp Overland in a 4-wheel drive Tundra with a 4-wheel camper on the back. I wonder if you could mention trails in your area that could accommodate a larger or heavier vehicle without having to rock climb or watercross. I love the back trails you film, but recognize my rig just would get bogged down in the most challenging parts.
The entire Ouachita National Forest. Not the Ozarks, in a Tundra with a camper on the back. Like nowhere.
Some of the Ouachitas.
Very few.
I'm just saying.
You're going to have to be exploring deep in the Ouachitas to find the trails. But even those are better than the Ozarks. So the Ouachita National Forest, that's where you would be happy.
Okay. Jamie Wilson, since you added dual batteries to Soli and solar generator for the odds and ends stuff, how has that made the overnight living easier? I'd say the diesel heater has proven itself more than enough a few times, but sometimes that heated blanket takes the edge off cold nights.
All true. The dual batteries, the auxiliary batteries in the back of the Gladiator charged from the Red Arc DC-DC 1250 has been one of my favorite things I've done. I don't have to worry about power at all at camp because there's ample power. So the diesel heater just plugs into the back of the Gladiator running off those batteries. And the only thing I carry a power station for is just to keep all my camera batteries and stuff charged because I haven't yet run any of that power from the batteries in the bed up into the cab.
Or in the tent.
That's project. Up in the tent, I've got power from the batteries up to a 6-port USB hub in the tent, so I can keep my laptop running. I can keep my watch, my phones, my lights in the tent, all those things. It's just made my life so much easier. Yeah. Highly recommend. We're actually getting ready to put 2 50 amp hour batteries in the back of Kara's Wrangler very, very soon.
Excited for that. Alrighty, so Incognito Burrito.
Love that name.
It's like a nonchalant taco. Okay. Is it plausible to build my own oversized lower control arm to give my Jeep Renegade Trailhawk better articulation and be able to fit bigger tires, possible beyond the wheel well? Fully understanding I'd have to make my own axles and change the strut assembly and all.
I have no idea. I'm sure it's doable, but
I just want to say
I'm not
props to you.
I'm not a fab person.
And a Jeep Renegade Trailhawk for asking that question.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's possible. I mean, honestly, Find like
Make a channel, dude.
Find like a TJ and solid axle swap the Renegade. That would be awesome.
And
like get some narrow axles from a TJ
video it.
and solid
Video
axle
it.
swap that Renegade.
Video it.
I'd love that. I would pay money to see that.
Yeah.
And I will invite you on a trail ride if you do.
That's a bet. And you better bring Mexican food because you're incognito burrito.
Next question.
NG Trek, what is the worst part about overlanding?
Going home.
I mean, we still have kids at home, so.
They're teenagers. My kids don't watch this, so I'm safe.
Yeah, they don't. But
Going home.
going home is the worst part.
You don't like getting dirty.
I don't like if it's rainy and muddy and just that can make it very just bogged down. And I don't like being too cold. I don't like the extremes. I don't like being really, really hot. I don't like being really, really cold. Would that mean that I'm a fair weather overlander? I don't think so.
That's why we have a diesel heater and we have an air conditioner.
And we
all for you.
Well,
Okay.
whenever we do full time,
me.
we'll be following the sun and doing things like that. But anyways, Vortex Off-Road says, great channel.
Thanks.
Thank you for the content. What other overland content creators would you like to go wheeling and camping with?
Okay, a couple of these are grouped together, so read the next one too, because they go
Oh,
together.
really?
Yeah, it's similar questions.
Okay. Iowa Off-Road Enthusiast. If you could pick 2 other YouTube influencers to join you and you could go anywhere for a week, who is going and where are you going?
That's not one of them. Go back. There we go. Well, I have to rule out those that we've already wheeled with. So, Rob.
Wait.
What?
Nuh-uh. It says, what other overland content creators would you like to go wheeling and camping with? You
I
can
know.
do it with the same people.
No, we've already wheeled with Rob.
So you're just tossing them out to the side? You
No.
never want to wheel with them again?
I do, definitely. I definitely want to wheel with Rob again. And Brad and Regina. But we've
I would
already
want to wheel
wheeled
with
them.
Rob in his Jeep.
We're going to.
That would be fun.
Yeah, we're going
Just
to.
because
He's coming to the
he's
Ozarks.
not a Jeeper.
He's
so
coming
I
to
think,
the Ozarks in the Jeep.
I
Because
think
he
we
won't
could,
bring his Tundra to the Ozarks.
well, it wouldn't fit. It's big booty Judy.
So we've wheeled with Rob. We've wheeled with
Brad and Regina.
and we will wheel with them again. But we very
We
much want
wheeled
to
with
wheel.
Will from Venture Ford.
Yes, and we will wheel with all of them again because we're all good friends. But we very much want to wheel with Sean from Story Till Now.
Yes.
And that's actually planned.
He invited
for
us
the
to
spring.
Colorado, or not Colorado. He invited
Canada.
us to Canada. And we
Yes,
couldn't
and we
make
will
it.
go at some point.
But yeah.
And
I want to wheel with Justin.
Justin and
Yeah.
Justin McBride. We've hung out together at expos and stuff, and we talk daily, but we haven't wheeled together yet. So
I'd like to wheel with Nate.
Justin, yeah,
Their lifestyle
I'd love to
Nate.
wheel with Nate too.
And I would like to break something so
I
that
want,
way I
yeah,
can watch
I want to
him
wheel with
bad.
Nate and break something so he can fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would like to do too. And I'd also like to wheel overland with Kara from Nate and Kara, just so that way there could be 2 Karas and they always go to really cool places.
We have to van life with them. Or they could van life while we're
I
overlanding.
mean, I know people that have vans.
Ooh, maybe we could give them your Jeep for the channel and we could grab.
We could swap.
We could swap. There you go. Kara and Nate. I know you
Holla.
don't watch the channel, but
No, they don't.
would love to. Ooh, I want to wheel with Kevin with Lifestyle Overland too.
Yes, I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sarah.
Yeah.
If you had 10 to 14 days to overland camp, would you go to A, Colorado, B, Utah, C, Arizona, D, Idaho, E, any of the other states, and why?
Okay, there's another question that goes with that too.
The next one says, there's so many wonderful national parks throughout the U.S., but have you ever thought about a trip to Canada or an Alaskan trip? As always, I appreciate you, Kara, and the OOA family.
So, definitely want to go to Alaska.
Yeah.
Definitely want to go to Alaska.
Definitely want to go to Canada.
We want to go back to Idaho. We had just a taste of Idaho, and it was so glorious. So we want to go back to Idaho.
Yeah.
And I mean, we already mentioned we will
Canada.
be in Canada at some point with Sean.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if we
And
had
why?
10 to 14
because
days.
they're amazing. Because they're amazing.
I don't think we would have enough time for Canada or Alaska in 10 to 14 days.
Oh, 10 to 14 days, Idaho was the answer. Because it's the closest. For
I don't know,
14 days,
man.
yeah.
Arizona had some
It did.
places there too that we were wanting.
Might have to flip a coin.
Yeah, can we split that up? Like 7 days? Oh, it's 7
That'd be
days
way
in
too far
Arizona.
apart. We could do Utah and
It's
Arizona.
just not enough time.
Nope.
And there's also New York. I'd like to go to New
You
York.
can't overland New York.
You can too. Have you seen the skyscrapers? You could just stay in one.
What are we going?
Like really high.
What are we going? Rooftop 10 on the Times Square?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some homeless people that do.
Next.
They're more ground tent dwellers though.
Cardboard.
Sean Nix. I'm in Bentonville and would love to hook up and go wheeling and camping sometime. New to overlanding and just starting to buy gear. What would be your top 5 need to start overlanding gear choices?
Okay, so the need.
A, love Bentonville. That has some amazing trail
Yes.
systems. It's beautiful.
The word need is problematic because you don't need any gear. You need,
I need
you
a
need
Stanley
food.
cup.
You need food. You need food. You need shelter. You need water and clothes. Shelter could be ground tent, could be hammock, could be rooftop tent, could be whatever you want. It could be sleeping bag under the stars. Food, shelter. So that's what you need, and that's what we try to communicate. Yes, we've got all kinds
Recovery
of-
gear.
we've got
That's a
all-
need.
Depends on where you. I mean, if you're just
Winch.
wheeling Forest Service roads and stuff, I wouldn't say you need a winch.
I guess
Maybe
it depends
some-
on the
maybe some
criteria, who
traction
you
boards.
are, and all that.
I would say some nice things to have is
You definitely need a recovery,
navigation.
just in case.
Yeah, you need to be able to know where you are, whether it's map and compass or guide GPS on your phone or tablet. But navigation and knowing how to use it, I think, is very, very important. Recovery gear is important. Now, whether that's a winch or just some traction boards, if you're just wheeling mild stuff, I think if you do it long enough, it's a matter of when, not if, you're going to need recovery.
Yeah.
Maybe, you're just running Forest Service road, but it rains and they get slippery and you slip off the edge, something. So whether it's winch or traction boards or something,
When you don't have it, you'll need
recovery
it.
boards, yeah. Nice
aid
things
kit.
to have if you're going to do it long enough. And there's another question I know that's coming. First aid kit, very good. Another one of those, fire extinguisher. You don't want to ever have to use it, but you got to have it because when you do, you need it. A fridge, not a $1 fridge, but Kara changed my life with a fridge when she gave that to me about 5-6 years ago.
But that's more of a want.
And that's just something really, really handy. And it
Yeah.
that depends on, are you going out for a week or are you just going out for a weekend? If you're going out for a weekend, you can deal with an ice chest.
Yeah.
If you're going out for longer than that, then you don't want to deal with changing ice and soggy food and stuff. So
Or you may want to and just want to not deal with,
all that.
Yep.
So all that.
All things overlanding. What's up, Fletch?
Stuff latch. The next two kind of go together.
Babe. If I had a penny for every time I've seen the word hair or purple or blue, I wouldn't.
We're questioning my
you wouldn't have-
sexuality.
Yeah, or political
Or political
stance.
affiliation.
I
Read the
would,
question.
we wouldn't need YouTube to.
He just wants to
live
know how I
full
get my
time.
hair to stand up.
Yeah. How
Hairspray.
does Matt keep his hair so vertical and full of body?
Hairspray.
Love you guys. Yeah, it's
Love you
some
too,
really
Liz.
strong
Just hairspray.
hairspray.
That's the only product I use in it.
Yeah. And full of body.
It's pretty stiff.
And the baggies loosen a little bit.
Hey, hush. Next question. Can I grow a mullet?
Can you grow a mullet? That would elevate the
It
content.
would. Can I? Yes. Will I? No. Next question. Can I? I got lots of hair. I can grow lots of stuff, but no. Next question.
Tim and Lee Wagner. What is the best way to get a spouse on board with overlanding?
This is your question.
Oh, then you should ask it.
So what's the best way to get a spouse on board with overlanding? My family camps frequently in the warmer months of the year. Fair weather, can't believe. But is always at a campground, family-owned camping lot, that sort of thing. I'd like to try some trails on Onyx, but my wife seems skeptical and not that interested.
Okay. So you may have to repeat some of those.
So how do you get a spouse interested in overlanding?
Allow them to speak and decide their level of comfort. If they're willing to camp at the state parks and they love that and do that as often as you can. And maybe each trip do something a little different, like take your own bathroom, and that way they have the option to use the bathrooms at the campsite, but you could also introduce a different way that could be used more remotely. Never push anything on.
Take it slow.
Yes, it's all about, because a lot of times men, I've not met a man so far that just isn't all gung-ho into this.
Be careful.
I just haven't. I said I haven't yet. There may be some men out there that don't do it as much, but I just know for the women's side of things, it's just, we're not fire builders. We're not, some of us are not fire builders. You know, it's just, we want to be comfortable.
Yeah. There's so many things now out there. So many cool products out there now that can make a woman more comfortable. Privacy shelters for changing clothes, taking showers. There's hot water available.
5 different kinds of toilets.
There's toilets that flush, that go in bags, that are easy.
Shower systems.
Hot water showers. I mean, there's a
battery
lot.
packs if your wife
hair dryers,
flat
irons, the whole. She needs her makeup stuff.
You can do it all out there.
I mean, diesel heaters for cold weather camping.
Just know also,
air conditioners for hot weather camping. There's just so much. So many options.
If you are struggling with getting your wife out there and she likes to have the comfort of the shower, the comfort of the nice bathroom, the comfort of doing her makeup, all of that, you as a man have to be willing to allow for that space
and deal with the setting up
and taking
it down.
Yeah,
and
just
the extra space it takes up.
If you're wanting your spouse to be involved, you've got to want to help them be involved.
Yeah. Good word.
Yeah.
Good job. There you go. That was.
What's the next one? Gatewood Brown. Are locking differentials necessary for overlanding? The technical side trails surely need them, but what about most routes?
No. And I mean, of course, that's going to depend, like you said, on the trail level that you're doing. For our style of wheeling, yes. For most of what people consider for overlanding, no, you don't need locking differentials.
It's cold here at camp.
Look at the stars. Next.
Simper Gumby Channel says, with all the overlanding you and Kara do, what kind of cleaning options and what do you all use to clean the rigs?
Water.
When's the last time you've cleaned that thing?
Well, I just went out today. I just got back.
But seriously, before that, I think that's 2 trips out now.
No, it's not. I sprayed it off. For me, water. Sometimes soap.
I get
water.
Q-tips.
She's a lot more uppity about her rig looking good.
Yeah.
But it has scratches on it now, so that's going to go downhill fast.
I need a new vehicle now.
Stop it.
Bronco Dream
We don't do like this whole fancy cleaning routine stuff. It's soap and water. And we use car soap, not Dawn dishwashing liquid.
Charles Hunziker, do y'all guide? I live on Truman Lake and would love to overland near the Big Pioneer Spring River. Well, anywhere in South Missouri or northern Arkansas.
No, we do not do guided trail runs. That is a whole legal issue with the Forest Service and getting permits and insurance and stuff that I don't want to deal with. But my good friend, Brad Brazel, who owns GoExploreUSA.com.
No, it's not spelled. It's differently.
I know, I'm going to put the link. It's going to be like right here.
Okay.
I'll put it on the screen. But it's Go Explore. There's a few vowels missing. Anyway, I've been on 2 trips with him, and he does guided tours.
Yeah. And he provides the food, too.
He does a great job. I go on most of his trips with him.
Let's see. Dennis Wood wants to know, are you adding or changing anything to the channel next year?
A
rooster?
No, we're not getting another dog.
I want a rooster so bad.
I'll
let you get the fender things if you let me get a rooster.
No, that's blackmail. We are not adding another vehicle.
No.
For sure. We might be adding a small trailer to the mix for Kara to pull. Maybe. Yeah. We're hoping. But hopefully we're adding new locations and going to new locations to explore. Yeah. And the rigs are always in flux. I mean, I'm seriously, you don't know this, I'm seriously considering another rooftop tent option.
Wow.
Because I want to try the wedge. And I can, if I just get longer bars, I can extend my rack up.
So what he's saying is he's wanting the Southern Pacific top?
No, I mean, I'd like it'd be like that, but with the Overland, the extrusion Overland rack. Go with the Global Road Outdoors Aegis. tent.
Why?
Because to try something different. Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
What about for the times that I just want to try something different? You always make me like present a 5-point presentation about why I have to, like with the slideshow and
That
everything.
wasn't the question. No, I mean, we're currently sitting under your rack and tent right now. So
I know.
you want to try another tent than the iCamper? We can make it happen.
I just want to change out to the black.
Well, iCamper actually makes a kit.
I know.
To swap it out.
I know they do.
Maybe so. I mean, I'll find out.
Okay.
I haven't asked them.
So that may be some things that change. But I don't think anything big besides maybe my trailer.
No, nothing big.
Ski-
Here's getting new shocks real soon.
Yeah. 1-2 Jeep. That's kind of fun.
1, 2, 3 Jeep.
1-2. No, just 1-2 Jeep.
1, 2 Jeep.
1-2 Jeep.
One. It's like a game.
This sounds fun. I want to learn. With all of your adventures, how has the Jeep held up?
Fantastic.
Still on the tires.
Never had any issues with it.
Rubber still down.
Never had any issues with it.
My Jeep is great.
Yes, both
Yeah.
Jeeps are fantastic.
All of my Jeeps have held up well. I have multiple.
That's that fun.
What have you had to fix, replace? Oh, replace is just, we replace something a lot, just if we don't like it.
But not fixed. The only thing that I have replaced on my Gladiator are my ball joints.
And your
'Cause
lift.
Factory, that's not fixing though. It wasn't broken.
You replaced it, though.
But I got a better one.
Exactly. That's
But it
what I'm saying. We
wasn't fixed.
replace a lot of things.
Yeah, we replaced. But fix, replace ball joints because the factory ball joints are crap, and you throw 37s on them, 38s.
I think mine's having issues.
Yeah, I think yours ball joints can be replaced in the not too distant future.
My balls need to be replaced. How many miles are on your rig?
44,000.
Mine's at like 20 something.
21,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a pavement princess. If you had to buy another rig, what would you get?
Gladiator.
Another Gladiator?
I just get another Gladiator.
You would never get it. You're never going back to Wrangler.
No.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, then you need to get that one new color, the Earl Grey.
No. If they made the purple, if they made that new purple that they make the Wrangler in, if it came in the Gladiator, I would get that one.
I bet we would lose so many subscribers.
If I got a purple Gladiator?
I bet.
Why? No, we wouldn't.
Yes, we would.
Stop it.
Okay.
So I'd get another. I'm in love with the Gladiator. It's the best.
You nearly bought another Gladiator just recently.
You would get a 392 Wrangler,
I would get a 392 in the pink.
which they don't make anymore, so you'd have to find
Yes,
used.
they do, but yes, used.
Yeah, that's make it.
But I would also get a Toyota FJ40.
Oh, an old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a CJ, an 83 CJ.
An 83
I get that.
83 CJ7.
Yeah. That's what I would get.
Yeah. If we weren't hitting the road full time in 3 years, I would consider adding some older rigs to the garage.
Yeah.
As just little fun
To
toys.
build, tinker.
But with us hitting the road in 3 years, that's not a smart move.
Yeah. And we technically don't have the Bronco on order anymore, so we're not going to get a Bronco.
Heck no, we're not getting a Bronco.
Yeah.
Okay, go. Next question.
Eagles_overlanding. Where would you like to see me take my 2-wheel drive first gen Tundra? I'm up for a challenge.
Yeah, that's. I want you to go to Moab and run Hell's Revenge
That's where we saw the one guy welding his.
on your 2-wheel drive. Say Tundra or Tacoma?
Tundra.
Tundra. Because I think you could do it. There's so much traction. I wouldn't recommend doing all the alternate lines, but just wheeling the main.
Don't do Escalator.
Hell's Revenge. I think you could do it. I think you could do it in a 2-wheel drive in your rig. As much as you beat on it to get around stuff in the Ozarks, I want to see you go to Moab and do Hell's Revenge because I think you can do it.
Yeah. Rob Krupa. I don't know if I'm saying these right. Any tips for someone looking to start an overlanding podcast or YouTube channel?
I did a whole video on that. So if you haven't seen how to start an overlanding YouTube channel, go watch that video.
Down?
Yeah. Is that working? I think it already was down.
Is that as low as it goes?
Yeah. The number one advice, do it because you love it. Because it takes forever to get to where you're monetized. So if it's not a good life if you don't love the shooting and the editing process once you get back and willing to put in the time and work at it. My best advice is just do it because you love it and because it's a hobby and not because you want to make a career out of it. Let that happen. organically, naturally, if it happens. But because if you can't do it because you love it, without getting paid, then you're gonna hate it, even when you're getting paid.
Clark Sherrod, first off, hello Ellie. Thank you for my birthday video. Can't wait for my bracelet. I'd like to learn more about your video editing tools and workflow, and how do you fly the drone and drive at the same time, while also holding Oakley sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. First of all, we're gonna have dinner soon. And
Really?
yeah, they messaged me today.
Oh, I want to have dinner with them.
I'm gonna see if you free Wednesday.
I work, but yeah, after that.
Yeah, I'll message you.
Okay.
So, we may have already had dinner by the time you're watching this.
It was a great dinner, thanks.
But edit. What was the question?
Learn more about your video editing tools.
I use. I do everything on a Mac, MacBook Pro, and Adobe Premiere. I edit in Premiere. Thinking about switching over to Final Cut or maybe Resolve, but I don't really have time to play with that. But
to learn it.
yeah.
And how do you fly the drone and drive?
Workflow is really easy for me as long as all my cameras are set correctly with the right date and time, because then everything's just, I sort everything by date and it's all linear. And so I can drop it in really easy and edit super fast that way. If my date and times are messed up, I get really frustrated.
Yeah.
And fly the drone, I am very skilled with driving the Jeep with my knees.
He's tall.
So I can, steer with the knee and fly the drone. Sometimes I'll drive with my hand and just do one direction motions with the drone.
And some of the drone, you'll put it on follow me.
Only if I'm out west. Can't do that in the West.
Yeah.
I'll use the active track features if I'm out west and there's no trees to run into. And my best drone shots come when we're in a group and someone can come drive for me. Mm-hmm. That's the best, because then I can just concentrate on flying. I haven't crashed the Jeep yet, so.
But you crashed a drone.
I've crashed the drone a couple times.
Yeah. Scott and Denise Rocket, which do you think is better? Number 1, an RTT on top of the lifted Jeep, or number 2, RTT on top of a off-road trailer, and why?
I don't think one's better than the other. I think they're just different. I think they are just for different styles of wheeling.
Base camp versus.
We have pulled a trailer with a rooftop tent before, all across Colorado, through Moab, and it's really nice to have your rooftop tent on a trailer. You can leave it back at base camp and go wheel.
But then you have to pull a trailer everywhere.
But then you have to pull a trailer. If you're doing an overland style trip, then you got to pull a trailer everywhere.
And that trailer has to be built to be able to go where you want to go.
Yeah. If you have the right tent, like a hard shell.
We would never go back to a soft shell.
Never.
Let's just say that right now.
If you have the right kind of tent, like a hard shell that's easy up, 2-3 minutes up, 2-3 minutes down, that whole setting up and taking down each day, it's really not a big deal.
It is for a woman. Whenever I went and did all of that at Overlanding the Red, that was exhausting. It was cold.
You've got a Wrangler on 38s and you can't reach the bottom of it. You can barely reach your tent.
Hence the reason why I'm wanting the off-road trailer.
No, exactly. So there's pros and cons to both. It just depends on your wheeling style. If you're going to be on the move, then tent on the vehicle. If you're going to be wheeling technical trails, tent on the trailer, leave it behind. There's a reason that in our Colorado trip, when we were wheeling things like Holy Cross, Kara didn't take her tent. Mm-hmm. She left it at home because she didn't want that weight up high.
And I will not have it when we go back to Moab.
We don't have it. Now, I'm probably going to take my tent off when we go back to Moab in the spring.
Keith McMillan, besides a snorkel and extended vent tubes, is that breather tubes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything else that needs to be done for river crossings?
It's going to depend on your rig. If you have a newer Wrangler or Gladiator, no, that's pretty much it. If you've got an older rig, you may need to extend your transfer case breather tube. You may need to extend your transmission. You may need to, get some dielectric grease and cover all your electrical connections, depending on where some of that your electrical stuff is. Mm-hmm. It just depends on your rig. If you're in a Wrangler, everything's up high on purpose, and that's pretty much all you got to do.
Kevin Heckler, will you be at Overland Expo PNW 2023 in Redmond, Oregon?
Yes.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yep. Sure will.
That was our favorite expo. Camille, I'm sorry, I'm going to say everybody wrong. How do you feel about the Starlink internet, babe?
It's fantastic. It works.
Did you want it?
Eventually.
You didn't.
I didn't want it now.
You didn't want it now.
I didn't want it now.
No.
But I'm glad to have it.
You didn't want the Gladiator.
Would you stop?
You didn't want the camper.
Your hat's getting too small for your head. No, the Starlink's great.
I love it.
I think you like it more than I do, just because you like me taking it when I'm out solo, so I can.
I just like to know that it works every time that you take it out solo,
Yes.
just because you say that it wouldn't.
Well, it's not. It hasn't been perfect.
But
Like if
it
you're under a
works.
tree cover, it does work, but it does cut in and out.
It's delayed.
So, yeah.
You don't think
it's
you're gonna
much better
stream a
than
video.
trying to text through the Garmin InReach or the Zoleo.
Yeah.
Much better than that.
Yeah. Anything that we should know before setting up?
I mean, it works. The clear view of the
Make
sky.
sure you get the RV, not the.
Yeah, the clear view of the sky.
There's
the
two
better.
now. You can get a flat one that stays mounted on your vehicles.
That's like $2,500
It's really crazy, stupid expensive. So
Oh,
we don't have that one. We have the RV one. We also just got one of those. What is the?
It's a Husky box.
It's a Husky box. You get it from like Lowe's or Home Depot.
Home Depot.
And you keep the cardboard or the plastic pieces that come in the Starlink's box, and you can make your own. There's lots of videos on YouTube. Make your own.
It's a
Husky
$40
box.
Starlink box instead
Yeah.
of paying $250 for the Starlink box or $400 for the Pelican version.
Yeah.
Stump.
DIY.
$40.
Oh yeah, and it's watertight.
Husky
just
box.
do that. You just order one for camping. You'll love it. We've watched the Razorbacks. It's just been great. Dirt Dauber Adventures. What was your worst overland camping experiences and why?
My worst camping experience was in the Ozarks. Me and some friends were camping. Kara was not there. And we had a bunch of drunk college guys on side-by-sides come into the area late at night. And we were camped next to a waterfall. And they started driving up and down the stream, up and down the waterfall.
And
where
around the camp.
we're camped right there.
Yeah.
And if you want to piss me off real fast, start driving up and down a waterfall. Anyway, so I got out of my hammock and lots of words were exchanged. Weapons were pulled.
Now let's clarify. He pulled the weapon on you.
Yes. And anyway, bottom line is they left. Nobody got hurt. But that was my worst experience. But my worst experience tends to have side by sides involved.
There's good side by sides.
Yeah,
but I will say in the middle of the night, it was kind of alarming to me because I know you're not supposed to have service. And I'm getting a call from you.
Mm-hmm. Like 1 a.m.
Yeah, they ended up leaving because they were afraid that the people were going to come
Yeah.
back and like slash tires and stuff. And
Yeah.
that was
we
really
had,
bad.
but we had a couple people with us with the spouse or girlfriends, and
They were scared.
They were scared.
Yeah. As far as me, my worst overland camping experience would be on Porcupine Rim in Moab. We were trying to go to sleep.
Oh, the rave,
There was a rave happening, like
100 yards away from our camp.
legit.
They had giant speakers and like a DJ.
And they had lights,
Yeah, they had. Yeah, it was weird.
like techno
it
lights.
was just like a family.
But it was a family. Like there
Yeah.
wasn't a DJ.
Like a couple of families that were just partying it up. Anyway, I went down there and politely asked them to stop.
Oh yeah. That was, I was just like, because it was just the.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, oh, what the crap?
I just want to go to bed. Anthony Hodges, when are you guys going to do an adventure for the dogs?
They went Oakley and Goose together.
So waiting to see both in a video together. We know Goose is a star, right, Kara? Duh. Goose is really what
we'll
the
take
channel's
Oakley and
about.
Goose as soon as Kara says we can take Oakley and Goose.
We can take Oakley and Goose anytime.
Okay. Is Goose past his training point to your comfort level? 'Cause
Well,
that's
yeah.
why he wasn't on our summer. That's why Oakley wasn't on our summer adventures because you wanted Goose to
Be able to
get acclimated.
Yeah.
So
And it's hard. Goose is so.
high maintenance.
You're having it. No,
Goose is so
my dog compared to your Oakley,
My Oakley's
which
an
is actually my
angel.
Oakley too.
My
but
Oakley's an angel.
he's also got longer hair,
Yeah.
so mud is not good. Like it's just Goose wipes off
He's
clean.
also chill.
So is Goose.
Goose is a spaz. He's a puppy.
I just want y'all to know. I'm not happy with how he's treating Goose right now.
Oakley's the perfect dog. We need to take
I'm
them
still
out
trying
together.
to find my perfect husband.
Next.
That's mean. Be nice to Goose.
He's a sweet puppy.
You're right. He's a puppy.
He's a
you
puppy.
gotta love him.
He's a toddler. Still.
Troy, ask.
Oh yeah, he's got lots of questions.
Lots of questions. There's bullet points. Number 1. Do you feel famous yet from YouTube?
I don't know what famous feels like. I feel like we're known now. I'm a lot of times more surprised when someone doesn't come up to us in places than when they do now.
At events, especially Rendezvous, more
That's scary.
like, yeah.
What else do you want to know?
Number 2, besides leaving trash behind, what is your absolute biggest pet peeve when camping with a group of people? Well,
Noise.
besides leaving trash behind, what is your... We don't usually camp with people that leave trash behind,
No.
so I want to say that. But I guess,
But like in a setting like Rendezvous, people who are noise late at night. People who are, have their sound system blaring.
Or people like at Rendezvous in the Ozarks at 6:30 or 7 a.m. flying a drone.
That's annoying.
A, you're not supposed to fly it over a group of people like that. B, it's 6:30 in the morning. Do you want people like to do construction
You don't
work?
need that sunrise photo like that to wake everybody up. That pissed me off so many times.
I was so
Yeah,
tired.
so poor bad drone etiquette
Yeah.
kicks me off. Next.
Number 3, best and or worst meals while camping and why?
Well, best is your grilled cheeseburger.
I can't have that anymore.
That's the best. You can bite. You can share one.
No, that's not good.
Your grilled cheeseburger. That's the best. Elk fillet, also the best. Worst. I was watching Sean's latest video that dropped today, where he's solo camping in the snow. Sean from the Story
I
Tell
would
Now.
say the worst meal would be a Mountain Man meal.
That's what I was thinking for the answer until I watched Sean's video.
What did he do?
And he's out solo. He opens up a can of shepherd's pie, like from Campbell's Soup, and he drops it into his pot.
Okay, wait.
And it was, and it was like all congealed, like it drops out still in the shape of the can. And then he has to take his fork and mush it down.
Okay, I can go
looked
without the...
Yeah, that looked like the worst meal ever. So Sean's meal from his latest video that's got to be the worst meal ever. That looked awful. I'd eat a Mountain House meal before I ate that. What's number 4?
With all the modifications to your Jeeps, do you carry a special type of car insurance in case something were to ever happen, like a vehicle fire where everything's a total loss?
Totally up to your insurance company. My previous insurance company, I did have special additional riders on the policy for it.
Colder.
With our current insurance company, they say we don't need it. We're covered. So depends on your insurance. Ask your insurance agent, not your YouTuber friend.
Also carry a fire extinguisher. Okay, I think you should ask a question to me.
Okay.
And then I can ask a question to you.
What question do you want me to ask?
I don't know. What's the most recent mod that you've done that nobody knows about?
My Anvil Overland phone mount.
Do you like it?
Love it.
Like more than the Vector bar?
Definitely more than the Vector bar. And I think more than the Bullet Point mounting solutions.
Really?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I don't like how it squeaks.
I'm a big fan. Well, that's a couple issues. He's new. That's why he asked me to test it.
Oh.
That's why I haven't shown it in the video yet, because it's still being worked out.
Oh.
But I love it.
You should ask me the same question.
What's your most recent mod that nobody knows about?
I have a light bar.
She does have a light bar. You can't tell. It's stealth.
It's stealthy
It's a
for
stealth
multiple
light bar.
reasons.
It's a stealth light bar. Yes. You'll see it soon.
Yeah.
But yes, she has a stealth light bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got a new phone mount that I really like. So.
And hopefully I'm going to have 40 soon.
No, you won't.
Oh.
No, you
A
won't.
rooster?
No rooster, no 40s. Sorry.
Then you're not going to have any of those fender chop things.
I've already let those go. I'm just going to get more lift.
You are not going to get lift anymore.
I am.
No.
I need it.
You do
You won't let
not.
me have a vendor chop. So yeah.
No, this is your path.
Clayton's coming out. Clayton's
chosen
coming,
this.
Clayton's coming out with a 4.5-inch long arm kit. And guess who's going to run it?
Your mom.
Can't go there. Thank you so much for watching.
This has been a campfire chat.
I don't know how long this video is. It feels like it's going to be a really, really long one.
Welcome to having me on the campfire chat.
It takes a little longer. But
Yeah,
you're
that's
cute.
well, and I'm a lot more
And it's more entertaining, probably.
more entertaining for
Yes,
people.
definitely. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this probably long Q&A session.
Yeah.
But we will do another one in 2 months.
Because
so
you say
if you
every
have
other month.
other questions, be on the lookout for that, or just post them in the comments of this
And
video.
ask me
and
some
I'll go back.
questions.
Yeah, here's
How do you put up with Matt? That will be a
We ain't got
really
time for
long
that.
video.
We got time because you don't have to put up with me. I'm a wonderful human being.
He won't let me have a rooster.
Right. Also,
For 40s.
I also am not afraid of tough love because I know because you don't need that. Yeah. Anyway, if you would like the video, if
3
you did,
videos away, we'll have rooster.
if you would like the video, subscribe to the channel and check out our Patreon and
Merch.
shop overlandapparel.com for Ozark Overland Adventures merchandise. All right, cool. We're going to go now.
Are we?
Say bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.